I'm Mike, recently retired at 56. So this video, I wanted to come up with some ideas for making extra cash in retirement. I think it's really important for everyone in retirement to have a hobby or something to do to keep busy. Can't play golf every day. At the same time, there are easy ways that aren't physical, that aren't drop shipping, that aren't AI, where you have to learn a whole new technical thing. I think there are easy ways to find something that could turn into a hobby, at the same time make you a few extra bucks, whether that's to help pay for your mortgage, pay for your car, save some money, put it into the bank. I think these are all great ideas, and I've done a few of them. So I'd like to explore those and share them with you. Number one, selling your stuff. I think this is probably the easiest way. Everyone's got too much stuff. Certainly now that I'm retired, or we're looking at downsizing, and I think it's really important to start getting rid of your stuff sooner than later, so that it's not a burden when it is time to move or downsize, if you plan on doing that. Some of the cons of this are it's a one-time income. You only have so much stuff. You can only sell so much stuff. Prices depend on what you own, the time spent on photographing and listing things, whether it's on Marketplace or eBay or however you decide to do that. It's not a long-term income strategy. The pros of selling your stuff is there's no money needed. So you can use the money that you generate from selling your stuff to start maybe a small business out of your garage or out of your basement or from your home office. There's cash in hand within days. You have people coming to you and giving you the cash once you sell the items. It clears out clutter. Obviously, downsizing is a big part of what I'm looking at right now in terms of being retired. And God knows, over 40 years, we've accumulated a lot of stuff. And you can sell things on multiple platforms. So you can use Facebook Marketplace. You can use eBay. There's websites like Poshmark. Here in Canada, we have Kijiji. I think in the US, you have Craigslist. So there's lots of ways to do this. There's zero startup costs, and it's probably the fastest way to get cash. Just yesterday, as an example, I sold my mountain bike because I don't use it enough. I sold a dehydrator. And what was the other thing that I sold? A backpack, traveling backpack. I have way too many bags for traveling. And at the end of the day, I made $380. So again, easy cash. Number two, or maybe that's four. Number two, virtual bookkeeping is something that if you have those skills when you worked for your 30, 35 years, you can help other small businesses do their bookkeeping, because it's not something that they want to do. They want to be focusing on their businesses, focusing on their customers. So it's something that you can do that's remote. It's flexible, again, not physical, and it draws on your existing skills. So if you have experience in bookkeeping, accounting, project management, different types of skills that there are companies out there looking for that. Some of the cons, there's a real learning curve if you don't have that experience and you're learning from zero. The client trust takes time to build. So you do have to build up a customer base. Start with one, hopefully word of mouth, and build on that business. It requires reliable internet and software, which, at the end of the day, most of us have. But if you're very remote, maybe you don't. And the income is slow. It takes a little bit of time to ramp up, months in some cases. Some of the pros of virtual bookkeeping, it's 100% remote. You can do it from home. There's no commuting. There's no office space needed. It's steady monthly income. So if you have 4 or 5 clients, you have a steady income that you can depend on for moving forward, which is fantastic. It leverages your finance and your admin experience, and certification is available within weeks if you need to learn it. So it's an interesting concept. It's not something that I have experience in. I have experience in project management during my career, and it's not something that I want to continue into retirement. So I've looked at another opportunity to do that, and that's number 5. So stay tuned. I am working on this site to sort of help promote retirement conversations and find ways to generate income in retirement. If you're interested in number 5, I will be providing some consulting, an hour call or video call, and I can help you get ramped up. So the links are in the description. Third one is interesting. It's not for me because we have 2 dogs and 2 cats, but a lot of people talk about, when I look around for as far as entrepreneurs and what they're doing, a lot of it comes up in terms of dog walking. And that's certainly an option, gives you exercise, and, it's neighborhood based. So you can help people in the neighborhood that are still working and need their dogs walked at lunch. I don't want to do that because I already have 2 dogs, but pet boarding, number 3 option, is interesting. So, there's literally some of the cons. I always start with the cons because I want to say the positives for last. It requires a pet friendly home. So probably a fenced in yard. If you let them out, you're going to have to let them out on a leash. It's low per transaction income. So you're probably looking at, depending on how long you board the dog, whether it's hourly or for the day or whatever the case may be, the cost may be lower. It's hard to scale because you can only take on how many dogs, right? So you don't want 10 dogs in your house. You want maybe 2 or 3. And the lifestyle has to fit your lifestyle in terms of if you're out golfing or if you're out doing things during the day, it may not be for you. The pros, there's no equipment, there's no startup cost. Dogs come to you, you don't have to go anywhere. It's great for animal lovers. So if you're a dog person, but don't necessarily have a dog, but would like to take care of a dog, it's a great way to sort of have them for a few hours and then mom and dad come and take them away. Word of mouth. So if my sister pays someone $50 to take her dog for a walk for half an hour. That shocked me when she told me that. So, and then there's word of mouth because, once you have one good person who you're reliable and they'll start telling their friends. A lot of people have pets. So I think it's a great low effort. It's community based and there's zero overhead. So it's a wonderful option for generating some extra income. Number 4 is proofreading and online tutoring. I have friends that live in Nicaragua and they supplement their income by doing tutoring. We teach English as a second language. A lot of folks are looking for that. They have clients in the Arab states. They have clients in China and Korea. And again, it's location based. So you can do it from your home, basically on your computer through a webcam. Some of the cons of proofreading or online tutoring, the income ceiling is tied to hours. So you do have to work on an hourly basis. So if that's something you don't want to do in retirement, it's something that, can take up some time, 5 clients, 5 hours. So it just depends how much you want to work. And you need to build reviews for reputation. So, of course, word of mouth will help with this, but it will take some time to build it. It's competitive. So there's a lot of platforms out there that provide online tutoring. And so there's a lot of tutoring platforms that you would have to compete with. Proofreading, in terms of proofreading, the work can be inconsistent. So it really depends on how many people have a requirement for proofreading and your work needs to be good to get more work in proofreading. But some of the pros, it's fully home-based. There's zero financial demand. As long as you have a laptop and a webcam, you can do this. You can set your own hours. If you want to increase your income, you'll need to work a few more hours, but that's based on what you want to do. Life experience and is a real credibility. So if you're older and have experience and can apply these skills to online tutoring, I think it's a wonderful asset. And that's a great way to meet people, obviously, as well. Platforms that can connect you to clients. So there's one called Redseat and there's another called Wiseant, but you can do an internet search and find a lot of these opportunities online. So let's get to number 5 because it's my favorite. Knife sharpening. And I really think it's important before people say, wow, that's crazy. Why would I want to do that? There's a lot of positives to knife sharpening. It's a recurring income. It's low overhead and it's a huge market. So, let's look at the downsides. There is a learning curve, but it only takes a few weeks to learn how to do it. And in weeks, I'm talking probably a few hours. You need a few older knives that you want to practice with, maybe the knives that you have in your kitchen. And you want to practice and make sure that you do a good job because at the end of the day, this business is really based on recurring income and having people come back to you. So you want to do a good job the first time. You need to get out there and sell things potentially. So if you want to go to restaurants, you'll have to actually go out and meet those people and sell your services. An early client base takes a little bit of time to build. So I think you need to have a website. You need to have something like Google Maps is an incredible driver of business for me. And so it takes a little bit of time. I've been doing it for over 2 years now, and I really have a strong client base and it gives me the money that I want to do the extra things. If I want to put it on bills, I can do that. Potentially want to use it for travel, I can do that. My goal this year is to save every penny and invest it. So that's an interesting take on using that, generating that income to make more income. It does require a little bit of space. Now, having said that, I work out of my garage, but I am going to be downsizing to a condo or an apartment. I anticipate that I'll be doing that out of the condo and apartment. So you do need space, but not a lot. And I'll show you my workshop in future videos. It's really small and the equipment that I use is very transportable. It's a wonderful setup. I try to run lean and mean and not spend a lot of extra money on things that aren't required to do a good job. A lot of the pros now, again, there's a lot because I'm a real big proponent of this. you can get set up for under $500. So if you go out and sell your items from option number one, and if you don't have the money to go out and buy that, to sell a few things, you can go out and get set up really for well under $500, probably under $400 or $300. You need a sharpener, you need strapping items, you need, a website, you need a phone system so that you can redirect your calls to the business to your personal phone, which is what I use, but it's very low cost, and you can do it sitting down. It's not physical. It's not going out and mowing people's lawns or moving furniture or moving fridges or filling up a pickup truck with garbage, people's garbage. It's out of your own home. You can do it sitting down. There's not a lot of physical strain, which is of course something that we want in retirement. It's a massive underserved local market. Certainly the amount of business that I generate, on average is between $1,500 and $2,000 a month. I've had 1 month in May this year that was $4,000. And, my first month, I think I generated $80. So it has increased substantially over the 2 years. And I've developed a wonderful client base. I have a few restaurants. I haven't gone out and spent a lot of time in increasing the income, but is highly scalable. So, if you do want to do that and generate more income than what I'm making, the option is there. There are only a few. I live in a city of about 1 million people, and there are only 2 companies or businesses that actually focus on knife sharpening. So it's very underserved. Everyone has a knife. There are restaurants everywhere. I've even sharpened at quilt clubs and generated, customers from those. It's a great way to meet people if that's something that you want to do. Having said that, if you're an introvert and you don't want to meet people, I've been at the front door and people drop their stuff off. I can go and grab them after they leave and then take them, sharpen them, put them back in the bin for them to pick up. So I think it works for everybody, and certainly in retirement. But in terms of, can anyone do it? Yeah, anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You can get commercial accounts. And so those provide predictable income. So like I mentioned, I have 2 or 3 restaurants that I do on a regular basis once a month. And each of those businesses, every time I go, generates anywhere between $100 and $150. So that's guaranteed income of about, $400, $500 a month right off the top that I can count on in terms of income. And I mean, let's face it, that's a car payment. And so, it can really help you with your bills if that's something you want to do. It's easy for people to book. So generally I have a system where people either call me or text me and I book with them. I have a very simple spreadsheet. I take their name, their phone number so that I can contact them and follow up with them. And it's very easy to manage. I do everything literally from my cell phone. So it's a very easy business to manage. I don't have an accountant. I don't have any expertise in managing a business per se, but it's become something that's been really fun and I really enjoy it. The income, listen, I've had days where I've made $300 a day. And so if it's really something that you want to explore and expand upon, 300 times 200 is 60K. You can make 60K. 95% of these transactions are cash. So, given that you literally always have cash on hand, which is also wonderful. Back to my waitering days when I always had cash. The skill pays more as you get faster. What I've learned is initially when people bring over their knives, on average, it's usually about $40 or $50. People bring 6, 7, 8 knives from their kitchen. As you build your experience, you're able to do it quicker. So I can do now where it would take me a half an hour to do, let's say, for example, 10 knives. I can do 10 knives now in about 10 minutes. And that's just because of expertise. I've learned how to do it. I've found the shortcuts and I've found a way to do it where people are happy. I charge a very fair price. My goal is to have people come back. I don't want to charge a high price. And I know others charge higher than I do, but I want people to come back because I feel the repeat business is more beneficial from a financial perspective and as well as providing client satisfaction. I think knife sharpening is a very, very underserved opportunity. I don't see a lot of knife sharpening as a side hustle, YouTube, and I think it's a gold mine. And I do plan on expanding my business and providing my services to other people, but it does give me flexibility. If I want to travel, if I want to do things, there's almost little to no startup costs. You don't need a lot of space. You don't even need a truck. I do go to people out of my truck. I drive a 2007 Honda Pilot, and I don't do a lot of advertising or any advertising. I did get a sign put on the back of the SUV that says the name of my business, phone number, and the website. That was $250, but that was after a year of me getting into the business and generating some income. So you don't have to do that at the start. I will be providing some consulting if this is interesting to you. The links are in the description. The first 10 to 20 people, I'll be providing a significant discount for the hour conversation. But in that hour conversation, I'll be providing you all the tools that you need to start. You can learn from my mistakes and get set up quickly. The goal is to eventually provide advice and lessons learned from my experience so that you don't have to encounter those problems, and get you set up faster to start generating income faster. So stay with me. I'm not very technical. I don't have a huge studio behind me. I'm just a normal guy, and I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out, but I really appreciate you sitting through this whole video. And if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to respond to them. So thanks so much for watching this, and we'll see you in the next video.